you don't rub someone's, like, you don't put your hands on someone's shoulders and that's like sexually automatically.
Well,
Robert,
what would you do?
Because I've done that.
You have. Tell us more.
Yeah. Because Joe Biden is a good person.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he is.
Really?
100 times better. Yeah, 100 times better than
define good
100
person.
times better than Trump.
Define good person. What makes someone a good person?
A person with good moral values. Usually they go to church. They have some sort of like.
Okay, so for example, would someone now try to get through this without using the word Trump? You ready? Would someone who admitted to sexually harassing, or by the legal definition, sexually assaulting multiple women, would you consider them a good person?
Admitting to sexually harassing people.
Or assault?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, so one, we know there were several women that came out and talked about inappropriate touching that Joe Biden did to them, things like sniffing their hair, rubbing their shoulders to the point where...
And he admitted to that? He said I sexually assaulted them?
He didn't use the word sexually assaulted. He admitted to the behavior and said he apologized for it.
Oh, so you spinned it.
It's not spinning.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, let me ask you this. If I walk up to a woman and grab her breast, did I sexually assault her?
Yes.
If I say, I'm sorry that I walked up to that woman and grabbed her breast, is that an admission that I sexually assaulted her?
Yes.
If I say, but I don't think that's sexually assault, I was just playing around, does that mean I no longer sexually assaulted her?
No.
Okay, so in other words, if Joe Biden admitted, yes, I did what these women allege, but you say, well, he didn't. They alleged that he inappropriately touched them in ways that they felt were sexual, like rubbing their shoulders, legs, sniffing them, things of that nature.
That doesn't sound like sexual assault to me.
Okay, define sexual assault or sexual harassment.
You want me to define it?
Yes.
You want me to define it like legally?
But define it in the way that you would define it.
I would say touching a woman in a sexual manner that is unwanted.
Okay, so if you come up and you rub someone's shoulders and sniff their hair, is that sexual harassment?
No.
I think your HR department would disagree.
Well, no, it depends. Did that woman make a complaint? Say, oh my God, this guy touched me. I didn't want him to touch me.
She went public with it and said so, and Joe Biden admitted that it occurred.
Okay, okay. He said that he touched the woman's shoulders, and
he said that he's an older gentleman, and that's how people like that talk. And if it came across as sexual or uncomfortable for the women, he felt bad for it, and he was working on his behavior.
Okay, yeah, I would completely buy that from Joe Biden. I would say
so it's okay to do behavior that is touching in a way that makes women feel sexually uncomfortable, as long as you're old and you say, I didn't know better.
No. So it could be a genuine misunderstanding because he does come from an older generation. The man is ancient.
So I just want to be clear. You would, if you're on a jury and a woman's like, I feel like I was being sexually harassed because this guy always came up behind me, rubbing my shoulders and sniffing me. You would say, oh, but he's old.
No, absolutely not.
But that's what you're saying about Joe Biden.
No, I would have to look at the totality of the circumstances, right?
Okay,
I would have to
the
look
totality of the circumstances. We have multiple women that said it. In fact, not only that, we actually had Kamala Harris, who ran against Joe Biden in 2020, saying she believed the women.
Okay, yeah, she believed
she still took the position
touched them
as vice
in
president.
like a non-sexual way.
Why would that be non-sexual? They said it. Why would they feel uncomfortable if it was non-sexual?
Dude, you don't rub someone's, like, you don't put your hands on someone's shoulders and that's like sexually automatically.
Well, Robert, what would you do?
Because I've done that.
You have. Tell us more.
Yeah.
You go up to random women and sniff their hair,
their
shoulders?
No.
You
It's not random. I believe these women that you're talking about worked for him, like they were.
Oh, okay. So you said you were a teacher.
No, I did not say that.
You said you worked for a university or something to that effect.
No. I didn't say specifically where I worked. I don't want to talk about it.
Well, I don't want you to out exactly where you worked. You seem to imply you worked somewhere in education in some capacity. Are you telling us that so in that environment, either your coworkers or your students, you were rubbing people's shoulders and sniffing their hair?
Absolutely not.
What do you think it would be appropriate if you were doing
no.
so? Do you think
no,
that if
because
a woman,
of the power
do you
dynamic?
Think,
okay. As an instructor,
because of
I do that.
How about vice president? Do you think they have a power dynamic? How about senator? Do you think they have a power dynamic over the women that they'd be interacting with that aren't senators?
Yes, I do. But it's different from for a teacher-student dynamic is very different from a workplace dynamic.
Really? You think so?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. So in what way? So you say there's a power imbalance. So a 23-year-old professor and a 20-year-old student. 23-year-old professor comes up, starts rubbing the shoulders, sniffing the hair. That's sexual harassment?
Well, it depends on the totality of circumstances. Has this behavior been done before? Has she
Three
reciprocated?
Three other women say yes.
When did they make these claims? Once he started running for vice president?
Oh, but if he admitted to it, because now it seems to be saying, well, that's not true. So if he admitted
when did they make
to
the
it,
accusations?
they made the actions. Some of them
when he was running for president, or
some of them, like
just...
Tera Reed, talked about it contemporaneously to her mother. Others, the story started to break when he was running for president. What does it matter?
Yeah.
When did the accusations against Trump start?
The accusations, they've been going on forever.
No, when did they start to come out? The ones like E. John Carroll. Where did that come out?
So when I was a teenager, a late teenager,
I noticed that this has nothing to do with answering the question.
It does. It has
nothing.
3 seconds.
Okay, E. John Carroll, and your answer is when I was a teenager. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I come from a middle class family. No, look, I was a roofer in New York City when I was like 17, 18.
Mm-hmm.
And we heard about Trump, how he didn't pay people, how he was awful to women, how he was just a snake, how he would have you work for him.
What the fuck does this have to do with E. John Carroll? What does any of this have to do with E. John Carroll?
Oh no, it's just I'm just pointing out a long history.
Let me cut through your bullshit. Yes, the mass amount of accusations against Trump came when he started to run for president.
Oh, you see, you're stating for me. Hey, Neo, you got
Yes, I am, because you're talking bullshit. I said, when did the accusations like that of E. John Carroll come? And you're like, well, when I was a teenager and I worked on roofs, I heard that Trump didn't pay people and was mean to women.
Well, yeah, that's
well, listen. When I trimmed Christmas trees in Pennsylvania here when I was 16 years old, I heard Joe Biden diddled little kids and women.
You're lying.
No, I'm not. Now
yeah,
what?
You are.
Now what?
But I wouldn't expect any less.
So just to be clear, if I could pull up one person that says I was a staffer in Joe Biden of a Democrat in the 80s, and I heard rumors that Joe Biden was inappropriate to women, you would say, oh, okay. That changes the calculus. And that one guy heard that rumor. No specific accusations, but he heard that rumor. So that changes
it. No, it wouldn't change because you know why? Because there is a long, the totality of the circumstances, the entirety of the
Let's say there wasn't. Let's say there wasn't. Okay. Let's say this. Let's say there wasn't about Trump. Let's say no one ever accused Trump. Then E. John Carroll did. And Trump says, yeah, I did that. But she didn't bring it up until he was running for office. He says, yeah, I did that, but I didn't mean anything sexual by it. I'm older. That's what I thought. I'm a New Yorker. That's how we interact.
Did he do exactly what he's accused of doing?
Let's say he said, I rubbed her shoulders. I smelled her. She was uncomfortable. Yeah, I'm sorry. You would say, you would say that's fine because she didn't bring it, even though he admitted the behavior, she didn't bring it up until he was running for office. So it's fine.
I would say, if there was no other history of doing this and he wasn't.
But there is 3 other women said it. And we have public, not only that, we have public video showing over and over, particularly with children, Joe Biden rubbing arms and shoulders and sniffing hair.
Yeah, a sexual assaulter does that on camera every day. Yeah,
sure.
That's right, Bob.
So your argument is people with sexual deviancy always make sure to hide it and don't do it in public? That's your argument?
I'm just saying a person who thinks they're doing something that is sexually deviant would definitely not do it on
It doesn't matter if he thinks it's sexually deviant or not. That's irrelevant. It's not an excuse.
What are you talking about?
So if I don't think,
9/10 of the law.
If I am raised in a household that's fucked up, and I watch my dad sexually assault my mom, and I think that's normally behavior, and so then I'm walking down the street and I see a woman and I take her in the alley and sexually assault her and say, I don't think that's deviant at all. You would say, oh, okay.
That's not an apples to apples comparison.
Okay, so then I see my dad constantly going up to women in his workplace, sniffing their hair while they have tears in their eyes, rubbing their shoulders. So then I proceed to do that to students or to my coworkers, and I say, oh, there was no sexual deviance to it. I thought that was normal. You would say that's fine.
I think you would get away with that maybe once. If you do it again,
okay, so we have 3 women at least that reported Biden for that.
Okay, yeah, but all of the accusations came out right as he was running for president.
So what? What does that mean?
Because, come on, Robert, you think it's just a coincidence?
No. In fact, these were women that proceeded to say that they were still going to vote for Joe Biden.
Isn't one of these women didn't she banish herself to Russia?
Tera Reed, because she was maligned, the same people that said believe all women treated her like shit because it turns out they didn't believe women. Now, that woman went further. She claimed that she was actually penetrated by Joe Biden with his finger, which is rape. Penetrating an orifice like that. That's what she said. But the Democrats didn't believe her. They said, even though, unlike with the cases of Trump, where the people that accused Trump never told anyone contemporaneously, and not only did Tera Reed tell her mother contemporaneously, but there's actually C-SPAN footage of Tera Reed's mother calling in and saying there was a very powerful person in Washington that assaulted my daughter, right around the time that Tera Reed said this was occurring. But Democrats didn't give a shit. That's what a good guy would do, right?
No,
let's talk more about good guy stuff. Do you think a good guy would refuse to acknowledge the existence of his granddaughter? Would a good guy do that?
He did not. He mentioned that the other day.
No, he refused to until it became a national press story.
I just don't know the specifics on that, Rob.
Well, the specifics are this: that Hunter Biden went out and had sex with a woman out of wedlock, who then got pregnant. And he refused to pay child.
Why do you mention out of wedlock? I don't understand why you mentioned that.
Because it's someone that was not accepted in the Biden family. She was someone that was sort of a stripper type person. So she wasn't highfalutin enough for the Bidens to accept in their family. She wasn't someone that he was married to. And so they said it was just a fling. So Hunter refused to pay child support. And Joe Biden refused to acknowledge the existence of this granddaughter. Does that sound like a good person?
Yeah, no, that does not sound like a good person to me.
But that's what you said. Biden's a good person.
Why did you emphasize out of wedlock, Rob? Like, is that
because they felt that this woman was shameful and harmful to the family, and so they refused to accept the granddaughter because they were ashamed. That's why I mentioned it.
Oh, okay. So where did you? Where did you find out that they were ashamed? Like, did Biden say that?
That's the fact that Hunter was refusing to pay child support. Why? Okay, let's assume. I guess I inferred that they were ashamed. Why wouldn't they acknowledge if they weren't ashamed?
Maybe there was some sort of legal issue going on.
No, there was no legal issue. Next.
Was there like a DNA test going on at the time?
The DNA test had already proven that it was his granddaughter. He still refused to acknowledge her.
Okay, yeah, I think that's messed up.
Oh, so it sounds like he wasn't a good guy.
No. Hold on. One bad thing doesn't make a bad guy.
So what makes him a good guy?
So this is what makes him a good guy. He's a family guy.
And in what way? He refused to acknowledge the existence of his granddaughter. In what way is he a family guy?
Okay, so there was
his own daughter said that the reason she's probably so fucked up in life in her diary was that her father took sexually inappropriate showers with her. Sounds like a good family guy.
So I read that, and I read what she actually said in her diary.
Well, okay.
And then I read her statement afterwards.
Okay, what's her statement afterwards?
Okay, so I would have to look it up to be specific about it. But what you're saying is just completely spinned in the worst way possible.
That's not true.
Yeah.
That's not true. Why should we not prefer? So when she publicly is trying to defend her father, who is president, right? She has a different story. When she's writing in a document that she thinks no one will see, she lied then? That's your claim?
The thing is that the diary, the snippet from the diary that is being passed around is only, they cut out like the next part underneath it. And it kind of goes into more context.
Okay, what's that part? Go ahead.
I have to find it, Rob. Like, it's just like so annoying to fucking look while I'm talking. I'm sorry.
You're the person. Basically, you're just a propagandist. That's what you're saying. I like Biden. I like Democrats, so I say Biden's a good guy, despite the fact he's been in Washington for years, has lied over and over, has done a bunch of horrible shit. I just think he's a good guy. He's a good guy. And any excuse, anytime someone will bring up, well, the reason that women say that, and Trump's a bad guy. He's a bad guy. And so that's why I trust Biden, and Kamala's a good person, and Trump's a bad guy.
Trump is not a bad guy?
Define bad guy.
Oh my God. Colloquially, like when I say bad guy, what do you think I mean? And go with that.
Immoral.
Okay, perfect. That's
so okay. So like, for example, not acknowledging the existence of his granddaughter, that would be a very bad thing to do.